choose our socks for success in all endeavors. Fortunes rises from the heel, and good luck for life.
Good morning. Today is Thursday, December 26, 2024. Today, in history, on this day 92 years ago, modern Chinese writer Mao Dan completed his novel Midnight. Set in 1930s Shanghai, the book depicts China's industrial struggles amid the conflicts between comprador capital and feudal autocracy. Midnight holds epoch-making significance in modern Chinese literature, having been translated into over a dozen languages, including English, German, Russian, and Japanese, and exerting broad international influence. Welcome to today's Qingchao Morning News. Let's start with political updates.
UN General Assembly passes North Korea Human Rights Resolution for 20th year. According to Reuters, the UN General Assembly recently held a session at its New York headquarters and passed a resolution condemning North Korea's widespread human rights violations. This marks the 20th consecutive year the Assembly has adopted such a resolution since 2005. The resolution highlights severe human rights issues in North Korea, urging the country to improve its situation. It criticizes North Korea's January announcement to cease reunification with South Korea, which negatively impacts separated families. It also condemns laws restricting freedom of thought and conscience, including the law on the exclusion of reactionary ideology, the law on the protection of youth education, and the law on the protection of Pyongyang cultural language. The UN calls for reform or abolition of these laws. Spain's Prime Minister's wife appears in court. According to Agence France-Presse, on December 18, Gomez, wife of Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez, appeared in court on suspicion of embezzling public funds. She is accused of misappropriating software funded by private companies while working at Madrid's Complutense University. In November, Gomez dismissed the corruption allegations as politically motivated during a session in the conservative-controlled Madrid regional parliament. Sánchez defended his wife and the government, calling the accusation slanderous. Sánchez's brother, David, will appear in court in January for a separate case involving embezzlement, benefit trading, and tax fraud. Israel to stay in Syria's buffer zone. According to Reuters, on December 17, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu visited the Golan Heights and held a briefing with military commanders and security officials. He stated that Israel would maintain a presence in the strategic Golan Heights on the Syrian border until alternative arrangements were made. This month, after the collapse of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's government, Israeli forces entered the buffer zone established after the 1973 Arab-Israeli War. This move was criticized by some countries and the United Nations, which condemned Israel for violating international agreements and called for the withdrawal of its troops. Suspect arrested for killing Russian Biochemical Forces commander. According to Russian news, on December 18, the suspect in the killing of Lieutenant General Kirillov, commander of the Russian Armed Forces Radiation, Chemical, and Biological Protection Forces, was arrested. Russian authorities said the suspect, an Uzbek citizen, admitted to planting a bomb in Moscow on instructions from Ukrainian security services that killed Kirillov. The 54-year-old Kirillov was the highest-ranking Russian general assassinated in Moscow since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. On December 16, the Ukrainian state prosecutor interrogated Kirillov in absentia, accusing him of using banned chemical weapons. The Ukrainian security service claimed that Russia had used chemical weapons 4,800 times since the war began. UK inflation hits 8-month high in November. According to Xinhua, on December 18, the UK Office for National Statistics reported that the Consumer Price Index, CPI, rose 2.6% year-on-year in November, marking the second consecutive monthly increase, after 2.3% in October. The core inflation rate also rose to 3.5% in November, up from 3.3% in October, the highest in nearly 8 months, while the services inflation rate remained at 5%, unchanged from October. Sartolis, chief economist at the Confederation of British Industry, stated that the continued rise in inflation reflects persistent price pressures in the UK economy. Some analysts predict that UK inflation will decline in December, rebound in January, and return to near the Bank of England's 2% target by the end of next year. Thailand to ban plastic waste imports starting January 1. On December 17, the Thai government announced that starting January 1, 2024, Thai importers will no longer be allowed to import plastic waste for use as industrial raw materials. Arata, Director General of the Thai Foreign Trade Bureau, stated that the ban will promote plastic recycling in Thailand, improve resource efficiency, and reduce plastic waste, benefiting both the environment and public health. This decision follows a resolution passed by the Thai cabinet on February 21, 2023, which tasked relevant agencies with regulating the import of plastic waste. The government has also emphasized promoting plastic recycling under the biocircular green economy model. The plan aims to gradually reduce plastic waste imports, with the goal of a full ban by 2025. Japan's private firm fails in second rocket launch. On December 18, Japan's commercial aerospace company Space One attempted to launch the small rocket Kairos No. 2 from the key civilian rocket launch site in Kushimoto Town, Wakayama Prefecture, with the goal of transporting satellites into orbit. However, the mission ended in failure when the rocket self-destructed approximately 3 minutes after launch. This is the second time Space One has attempted an independent rocket launch to transport satellites this year. The first attempt, Kairos 1, also self-destructed and exploded shortly after launch in March. The 18-meter-long Kairos 2 rocket was carrying 5 small satellites. The launch, originally scheduled for December 14, was postponed twice due to strong winds at the launch site.
According to the Wall Street Journal, the Federal Reserve recently announced a 25 basis point reduction in the target range for the federal funds rate, lowering it to between 4.25% and 4.50%. The Fed also indicated that future rate cuts could narrow to 50 basis points by 2025. That's all for today's Qingchao Morning News. Thanks for watching. Join us at the same time tomorrow.